Cảm ơn quý vị vẫn giữ màn hình của chương trình Câu Chuyện Luật Pháp, và sau đây thì thẩm phán Nevare sẽ nói tiếp những cái suy nghĩ của ông.
So when people are being accused of child abuse and maybe being prosecuted in a criminal court, do you have steps that they can follow or do so that maybe they can gain more time with the children?
And it just depends on the crime or the accusation of a crime, right? The allegations. You kind of have to, if the child will say they're accused of sexual abuse, then for the safety of everybody and for dad or the mom, whoever the perpetrator may be, or the accused may be, is that you may want to say, you know what, for right now, there's not going to be any visitation between the child and the abuser, because we've got want to make sure that the child is safe, and then they go through the process of getting some medical attention or whatever attention they may require, and the abuser may not be, or the accused may not be allowed to be around a child anyway, per the courts, and so you just kind of keep them apart until we see where we're going with this. Sometimes there's enough evidence to say on this, enough for civil portion to say that something has happened, so at that point you may just not let them get together.
What about there's no child abuse involved, but maybe the father got convicted of another crime and have to serve time, and that could be a number of years? Does it mean he won't be able to be the parent anymore, or has his parental right got taken away?
That's going to be on the parent that's around, whether it's going to be on them, whether they want to come in and ask for termination of parental rights, and whether they're going to be gone for 15, 20 years, whether they're not going to be able to be around to help the child. But it's going to be on a case-by-case basis is the best way to put it.
And do you have any situation where the grandparents may be accusing the parents of child abuse and trying to take the kids away from the parents?
It's a little tougher in Texas for a grandparent to just come in and try to take the children away from a parent. It would be a violation of the 14th Amendment under the Constitution to allow a grandparent and start dictating how a parent is going to raise that child. So they're going to have to first climb the hurdle or jump the hurdle of whether they have standing to be in the case. Now, if there's abuse, they're going to have really good facts. And if they don't have very good facts, chances are the court's going to kick them out.
Thì Đức Phạm cũng mới đây được làm ông ngoại rồi, thì khi mà cái sự gắn bó với cháu như vậy, đôi khi thí dụ bố mẹ bận rộn không coi sóc cháu được, thì cái chuyện đó là cũng ông ngoại, bà ngoại, ông nội, bà nội giúp là cái chuyện cũng thường thôi. Nhưng mà trong trường hợp thí dụ mà thấy cháu mình bị bỏ rơi rồi, thí dụ cái người bố mẹ là con của mình, hoặc là con dâu của mình, hoặc con rể của mình nó không phải là người cha mẹ tốt đó, thì anh nghĩ là ông bà đó có nên làm những cái bước mà để mà được quyền chăm sóc con mà ngăn bố mẹ khỏi cái mối quan hệ với con cái không?
Theo cái truyền thống của người Việt mình á, thì ông bà là cái thế hệ đi trước, nhưng mà luôn quan tâm và chăm sóc những cái người kế thừa, là con rồi đến cháu, thì nhất con rồi nhì cháu thôi. Tuy nhiên đó thì tại xã hội Mỹ này đó thì dường như đó là ông bà
có thể phụ cùng cha mẹ chăm sóc,
không nên đi sâu vào cái đời sống của gia đình, của con cái mình, và đồng thời cũng tước cái quyền đó.
Thưa quý vị, quan tòa Nevada đã giải thích rồi, ông bà có thể là rất thương cháu và thấy là cháu bị bỏ bê này kia, xót xa và muốn giành lại cái quyền chăm sóc cháu đó, rồi đưa ra tòa này kia để tước đi cái quyền làm cha làm mẹ của con rể mình hay kia, thì cái điều đó cũng rất là khó, thưa quý vị. Tại vì chính cái Constitution của Texas bảo vệ cái quyền lợi đó rất là mạnh. Judge, besides child abuse, there are issues when it comes to spousal abuse also. And when it comes to spousal abuse, is it something that you come across a lot in family law cases?
And for domestic violence, yes, we do have. As a matter of fact, every court, there are 6 family courts here in Tarrant County, and each court has an associate judge, and then so we share cases, but every court has a certain day that they handle just domestic violence or abusive cases. and where they're asking for a protective order. But yes, we do see a lot of it, and more than we care to see.
And when it comes to spousal abuse or domestic violence, do you know, again, people trying to use it sometimes as an advantage edge when it comes to divorce, and they'll say, oh yeah, my husband beat me up, but then maybe before that there was no police report, there was nothing to substantiate that. I mean, how do you handle that? Or
well, that's again, you're faced with a he said, she said situation, and so you try to make it where hopefully if they have a good attorney, they're going to tell them, bring me some support, whether it's a neighbor that they've seen the bruises on you, or just somebody that can support your what your allegations are. Now, just because you have a police report doesn't necessarily mean that you have abuse or domestic violence, because the police report is going to get his story and your story, the female story, and then they're going to go from there, and then they're just going to write what y'all said. So, but sometimes the police do get there when the actions are happening, where the violence is happening, and so they can testify to that part. But you don't necessarily have to be a spouse. You can be living together. You can be a boyfriend and girlfriend, and so, or you know, just significant other, I guess I'd say. And so you could be a significant other and still have domestic violence. And so, one of the things that I want to talk about that I don't want to sell anybody short is that even if you don't speak English, and especially to the people who don't speak English, don't be afraid to contact a neighbor, the police. And since we're on Vietnamese station here, I want to make sure that you understand that all you got to call is call 911 and say you don't speak English, or to the best that you can do it, and say Vietnamese, and then they'll get people that can help you. Same thing with the courts. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid that you don't speak English well enough to try to get your message across. We look for interpreters, and we try to find interpreters that are going to interpret for you. And you know, one of the stories we were talking backstage is that I've had a case that it was 7 days. It was a 7-day trial, Vietnamese trial, and I didn't feel comfortable with the interpreters because they were either, in my opinion, spectating or not interpreting what needed to be said. And so then I just kept changing so that everybody was being represented properly in court. So please don't, whether you speak English or not, but talk to a friend, talk to a neighbor or a passerby. If the abuser is gone, they got to go to either sleep or go to work at some time, right? So go and use that time. Don't be afraid. There's help. There's for women's shelters, or there's shelters for everybody. Some shelters allow you to take your kids with you if you're the abused, and so there's plenty of support, plenty of help.
And when it comes to domestic violence or spousal abuse, and if it's substantiated, how does it affect spousal support or maintenance?
Well, and that's a good question, because it's just going to vary on the situation, and you take a case-by-case basis. But if there is an abused individual and they're able to prove or substantiate the accusations, then it could increase the child support based on the needs of the children, based on needs of the family that's going to have to be together, or that's going to be together. If the spouse who's being abused has never worked because they were a stay-at-home parent, then they may get a little bit more help than they normally would have otherwise.
And how long usually they can get that spousal maintenance?
It's going to depend on the circumstance. It's hard for me to give you
You're
just
right.
a flat answer.
You're right. Yeah. And when you deal with the parents trying to fight and trying to prove that I'm the better parent, you know, I should be the one who have the sole management conservatorship. Do you have, you know, the woman would say, "Oh, I'm the mother. I always the one take care of the kids."
I hear that a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, does it affect the case?
You know, what I think all the judges look. I mean, again, it's kind of a cop out, but we do look at the totality of the circumstance. But you do look at whether the father's the one who's been getting up in the middle of the night to take care of the child when they're sick, or taking the child to the doctor when it's sick, or involved in school activities or after school activities, and are they the ones who are spending most of the time with the child? And it's usually the mother, but that's not always the case. It could be, there could be drug abuse, or there could be some physical abuse that the person who takes care of the children most of the time, that we may have to switch custody or switch it to the other person. But to answer your question, it just depends on where the children are feeling more comfortable, or who's been the fuller parent. Now you cannot, and I'm not trying to draw this out, but you cannot punish the working parent and say, well, she's always with the kids, or he's always with the kids, because you know what, that's your contribution to the family.
True.
So that's why I think the legislature's intent is try to get both parents as much time with the children as possible.
You're right. And of course there are classes that the father who I guess trying to get more time with the children can go and get training to learn how to be better parents.
Try to be a better parent. There are some classes that they're offered by different organizations, and I'm not going to promote one over the other here, because just when they go to court, know that just because you are a working parent, that you're not going to get visit your children. The standard possession order is Friday at 6 to Sunday at 6, and then one day during the week, usually the Thursday, every Thursday, first, third, and fifth weekends of every month. But people work out different deals, and depending on the contribution of each parent to the children,
what's best for the kids too.
Right, and so we try to figure something out that way.
Đức Phạm, anh có tham dự một cái lớp hướng dẫn mà người cha có thể tham gia, mà những cái lớp đó họ có thể ra tòa để họ làm nhân chứng, để xác nhận và xác minh cái nỗ lực của người cha trong cái vấn đề mà chăm sóc con cái, hoặc là học những cái khóa huấn luyện. Thì theo cái buổi tham dự đó anh cảm thấy như thế nào, hoặc là anh có thể chia sẻ một chút về cái lớp đó được hay không?
Vâng, cái lớp đó gọi là New Day, trong đó có cái chương trình đó họ giúp cho những người cha có thể gần gũi với con cái của mình hơn. Có thể những người cha mẹ họ đã ly dị nhau rồi, có thể có những người cha đó nó ở trong tù, hoặc là nó có những công việc rất là nặng nhọc, và nó tạo cho cái điều kiện để gần gũi với con cái. Thì cái lớp này đó, nó để lại một cái ấn tượng rất là sâu đậm trong Đức Phạm, và mình cũng có một cái mơ ước là có thể có ngày nào đó mình mở được cái lớp này cho cộng đồng Việt Nam. Thank you just Nevare for your time with us today. And thưa luật sư Anh Thư, thì thời giờ cũng không có nhiều nữa. Thì luật sư gửi lời chào đến quý khán thính giả.
Thưa kính chào quý khán giả, hy vọng là cái chương trình Câu Chuyện Pháp Luật sẽ có nhiều cái phần sau mà rất là tốt và hữu ích cho quý khán thính giả. Judge, would you like to say something?
I just want to thank everybody for watching, and I appreciate you having me here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.